The desert wind carried dust across the barren plain, its whistle the only sound that broke the silence of the dying day. The sun was bleeding into the horizon, painting the sky in shades of fire when the cowboy rode in, his horse's hooves striking the cracked earth like drums of fate. He had seen many things in his travels: broken men, lonely towns, and hearts hardened by survival, but nothing prepared him for what lay before him now. Tied to the splintered spokes of an old wagon wheel, half buried in the sand, was a woman. Her fiery hair was matted with dirt, her wrists and ankles bound with cruel chains that bit into her flesh. Fear and exhaustion were written across her face, yet beneath it he saw the glint of unbroken spirit. She turned her eyes toward him, wide with both hope and disbelief, as though she wondered whether he was real or just a mirage brought on by desperation. The cowboy swung down from his saddle without hesitation, the spurs on his boots ringing like a warning to any danger lurking nearby. His hand went to his knife, the blade catching the last rays of the setting sun. "Hold still, miss," he said in a steady voice that carried both reassurance and command. She trembled as the sharp steel cut through the first set of chains, the sound echoing in the silence like thunder rolling across dry land. "They left me here," she whispered hoarsely, her lips cracked from thirst. "Said the coyotes would finish me." His jaw tightened as fury flared in his eyes, but he kept his voice calm. "Not today," he muttered, working at the shackles with precision and strength. Each snap of the chain was like a promise that he would not let her be lost to cruelty. The wagon wheel creaked as if relieved of its burden when at last the final bond fell away. She collapsed forward, too weak to stand, and he caught her in his arms, lifting her as if she weighed nothing. The cowboy glanced around the desolate plain, every shadow a threat, every rustle of brush a reminder that the wilderness showed no mercy. But with her pressed against him, he became unshakable. He draped his coat over her shoulders, shielding her from the chill of the coming night, then guided her toward his horse. "You're safe now," he promised, his deep voice carrying the weight of truth. As he mounted with her cradled close, the woman clung to him, the steady beat of his heart more comforting than any words. The horse surged forward, carrying them away from the place of torment, its hooves scattering sand over the chains that once bound her. Behind them, the wagon wheel stood abandoned against the twilight sky, a monument to cruelty that had been defeated by courage. She buried her face against his chest and let the tears fall. Tears not just of fear, but of release, of being saved when she thought all was lost. The cowboy said nothing more. He didn't need to. His actions spoke louder than words ever could, and his silent strength told her that as long as he was near, no chain would ever hold her again. In the glow of the setting sun, they rode toward freedom, toward hope, and toward a future written not in fear, but in the courage of one man who refused to turn away. And as the desert swallowed the traces of their passing, one truth remained clear. Even in the harshest lands, where mercy was scarce and cruelty thrived, a cowboy's heart could still burn bright enough to light the way for the lost. Friends, if this story touched your heart, if you believe in courage, freedom, and the power of standing up for those who cannot stand for themselves, then don't just let this tale end here. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another journey of love, survival, and the unbreakable spirit of the Wild West. Every story is a new ride, and your support keeps these stories alive. Saddle up with us because the trail ahead is long, the nights are dark, but together, we can ride with the light.